course, Nick said it wouldn't mean much to him to win the rushing title or win the rushing touchdown title, but what would it mean to you guys as an O-line?
It's a cool stat, but we really just want to win games. If that means Nick wins the rushing title, that's a bonus. We want to do everything we can to win as many games as possible, and so it's part of it. But honestly, we go out there, we haven't really talked about it yet, so we're just trying to win as many games as possible.
Joel, did you feel early on in that Cincinnati game that you guys really were going to have a clicking?
Yeah, it felt. It took a little while to get going. You know what I mean? We had a turnover, we had a couple tough plays, but once we got rolling a little bit, got up at halftime. Our defense was playing lights out in the first half. Second half, I thought we got rolling pretty good. It took a little bit going, but it was good once we got rolling.
This probably impacts you the most as an offensive lineman, but you're going to have to play 6 of your final 9. Just deal with those hostile environments. And always just type of challenges that for you, and how do you, I guess, get yourself ready to deal with that?
Yeah, it's part of the game. We've had kind of a home stretch to start the year. It's good we got the bye week because we've been working on our silent counts and doing all that kind of stuff. That's part of it for the O-line, but it's really about communication, and a lot of it's maybe non-vocal if it's really, really loud in there. But we've played a lot of road games here, so I think we'll be ready. We played in Baltimore, that was pretty loud and stuff, but we know we're going to have some big challenges on the road coming up. But just nonverbal communication, making sure we're on the same page, make sure the silent count's working well, all those things.
Joe, when you can play a team that's as explosive as Miami is there a lot of talk during the week about kind of controlling the clock and what kind of winning the time of possession to help the defense out?
We don't really mention like specifics of it. You know what I mean? Like, we want our defense to play really well. We want to play really well on offense, and I think if you start talking too much about it, maybe the coaches have a great understanding of what's going on. For us, it's like, let's execute the plays that are called. You know what I mean? I don't think we're like going in there like, let's run the clock down every play and stuff like that. Just play the game and kind of see how it goes. If it ends up being something where it's like, we need to run the ball a little bit more or something, I'm sure the coaches will adjust that. But it's never really like a huge game plan thing that the players get. We get the plays, we get the understanding of what's going on, and we know they're a great offense, so we're going to have to, bring our A game for sure.
Is there a tendency to get trapped into their game rather than playing your game?
I'm not sure. If anything, that's a Stefanski question. For us, we just run what's called. I know they. I watched them last week live, and I've watched a few of their games now. This season, they've had some Thursday night games and stuff, and it's pretty explosive stuff. Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Tua's playing really well. So they're definitely a team that you're gonna have to put some points up against. So it's one of those things. But I think if we stick to our game plan and do what we want to do, then we'll have a chance. Yeah, they do have some blitzes. They're not quite as much as with Coach Flores was there, but they still have that front, and they just obviously got Chubb over there, and they're playing really good up front though. They might not have the sack numbers, but they're really disrupting a lot of things, and they do have their third down blitz package is one of the better ones in the league.
Do you think crowds get visiting teams anytime they have an offensive pre-snap penalty? The commentators say, the crowd is causing problems for the offensive line. How much of that is really true? How impactful is a crowd when it comes to those pre-snap penalties?
It's loud. If you get like under center and it gets very, very, very loud, and like the tackles or tight ends can't hear, I think that's really the only problem where it's like the crowd noise is actually doing it. You're on silent count though, so that's part of the crowd noise as well. So it's a factor, but a lot of times it's usually like we have a few different varieties of silent count, and you just get mixed up on which one's which, or you go a little early or something like that. So it's give and take. Obviously, the crowd noise there makes us go on silent count, but I don't know if it's as huge of a deal.
Joel, what does Amari Cooper brought, just in terms of the on-field presence and also the locker?
I mean, first and foremost, he's a great player, and that helps a lot. He's done a lot of good things for us. I think most of the time, anytime we need a big third down conversion, it's finding Amari. But he works hard. He's at the facility all the time. He studies his film. I think he's a great example for the, young receivers, young skill position guys, and they really do have like some great examples with him and Nick. The way they work, the way they produce on the field. So it's been really good. He's a little bit quiet, kind of like Nick, but when we need a big moment, it seems like we're finding him and he's finding the ball.
When you talk about Bradley Chubb, I mean, his sack numbers haven't been unbelievable. unbelievable throughout his career, but obviously they made a big trade for him, paid him a bunch of money. So what is it about his game that really stands out?
Yeah, he's kind of like a bigger rusher. He's powerful. He compresses a pocket, and they have a lot of good interior push. You know, their guys inside really push the pocket. So him, Ingram, Phillips, like they have these three guys now that they kind of rotate out, and they have the speed package that they can kind of put them anywhere. They can run games, but not just sag numbers. You know, Bradley Chubb's a great run defender too, and he does a really good job of that. So he's kind of an all-around guy, and I think it's just going to give him a lot more options to run games, to put some of the guys inside or outside. It's just another body you got to account for on those third downs, though.
Joel, how have you seen Jacoby Brissett improve from that first game through now 8 games?
Yeah, he's done a really good job. You know, it's really been no question that he's taken the reins, and it's been his job. But the way he's played is just it's impressive to me. He's been in a lot of tough situations in his career, where he's gone and wasn't sure he was going to start, ends up being the starter, things of that nature. But I think he's making good decisions with the ball, and that's something we always stress here is, like, we can't turn the ball over. We got to take care of the ball. So he's done a good job with that, and taking what's there. We're not trying to force too much, but when he has to take those big shots, you saw last game against, Amari Deep. Those type of plays have been huge for us.
Joel, what's your biggest takeaway from the bye? Just a reflection on the offense with the time off.
Yeah, we did a little self-study and stuff, and we've had some real successful. You can kind of see more individually, like successful runs, successful things. I mean, obviously, like, be in third and short, and it helps you out. Don't be in third and long. Things like that where you kind of look at it, no duh. But no, we're at a good place. I think it was good for the guys to get away for a little bit and just reflect and come in with a bunch of energy. I thought we played our most, obviously we won, but our most energetic game as a team. And so if we can just bring that energy and passion, week in and week out, I think we're going to be a lot better.
Jacoby kind of mentioned that about you guys stop yourselves a lot of times. You mentioned not converting on third down. Was that something that you saw as well?
Yeah. Especially, like I said, the longer, anything 3rd and 6 plus, it's, kind of hurt us a little bit. When we can convert and stay on the field, we've been pretty good on offense.
Joe, 3 and 5. Can we get there from here?
I think so. We haven't. Coach Stefanski's done a great job of, like, not looking too far ahead. We really try and go 1-0. It's not like, we have 3 games here, we have 2 games here. It's really how can we beat Miami, and then we'll kind of go from there. I think the AFC has a lot of teams though that are kind of between, like, obviously 3 and 5 and like 6 and 2. So it's it's gonna be tough sledding. We know that, but I think you start with getting a win against Miami.
Joel, it's an unusual season in that we've got an impending quarterback change in a couple of weeks. Do you think that's had any impact on guys in terms of, focus, just the way they kind of view the season as a whole?
I don't think so. I think the guys have really been focused on playing the next game and who we have right now. Deshaun's been around the team, and it's been great to have him in the building. But right now it's just Jacoby's been out there. He's been our guy, and that's kind of what we're rolling through. I'm sure that week when he comes back, it's going to be a little bit different. But honestly, the team has been really focused on who we have to play, who's playing for us right now, and that's the most important thing.
Do you think he'll get reps on the one team?
I have no idea. I'm sure the coach there talking about that, or we'll have some extra periods. But he hasn't been out of practice yet, so I'm not sure how it's going to work.
When you say the Bengals game was your most energetic, why do you think that was?
I think the defense played really well to start the game, and guys just kind of fed on that. Monday Night Football, you have the extra lights. Like, a lot of things came into it, but we did talk about, like, keeping that, high energy coming to the game. I thought the locker room just was kind of loose, and you never know. Like, as a young guy, you're like, you try and think of things like, oh, how's the locker room feeling? How are we going to play in the game? Loose, great warm up, all these things, and it's been both ways every time. But it was just, I just felt like the guys had a good sense about them, and it just felt good.
Well, I suppose that wasn't there in earlier games.
Well, there's some games we've been loose, and some games we haven't. That's what I was kind of saying. But like this game, it just felt like, hey, we were loose, and we came out and started playing well on defense, and it just kind of snowballed the rest of the game. We had a good performance, but we're just trying to have good energy, good focus, and I think the guys have really bought into, hey, one game at a time, and we'll see where we're at the end of the year.